So if this is getting like, woo, very kind of out there right away, I'm sorry, I apologize. I guess I'll give a little bit more of a backstory on who I am and how it is that I came to be here. Well, this is it. This is my first ever YouTube video, and after so much technical difficulty, some people are blessed with like the ability to and patience to get to know different things like technology, and these just aren't things that I was born with. So I just got a brand new SD card and I'm ready to come out. I am ready. I've been wanting to start this YouTube channel for so long and have kind of really been playing around and jotting notes and mapping out what it is that I want this channel to look like. And then I realized, you're overthinking. This is your gift. Just do it. Just go and see what it turns into. So hi, my name's Brittany, and I am now a yoga instructor that specializes in prenatal yoga and living my happiest life that I have ever lived. And by no means is it perfect, as a disclaimer, but coming from the place where I used to be, where I was held captive and held prisoner, I have come a damn long way. So that is the story that I would like to share, just a bit of perspective. I feel like perspective is one of those things where we're seeing such a lack of tolerance toward other people's perspectives in this day and age especially. And I feel like offering this little bit of perspective on exactly what we're seeing going on right now in the as far as citizens of this country, and the way that we're feeling this super divisive movement that's growing and growing and growing, and we're seeing more and more dis-ease between people and a lack of tolerance and a lack of perception into someone else's perspective. So that's exactly what I care and love and am so passionate about talking about, because all of us have our own unique perspective of this life. Even you and your sibling, even you and your identical twin. Maybe you have similar experiences, but from the moment that we enter this world, we are having our own emotional processes, we perceive things different ways, we intake things differently, we let go of things differently, and all of those things create us and make us into exactly who we are in this moment, and we can create an awareness around that. So if this is getting like, woo, very kind of out there right away, I'm sorry, I apologize. I guess I'll give a little bit more of a backstory on who I am and how it is that I came to be here. So I was born on Nellis Air Force Base. My dad was in the Air Force, and I was born in '89. And this was like his final place. My sister was born in Bitburg, where they were in Germany, and he and my mom got married out there in Germany. They just celebrated their 33rd year of marriage and dated for about 2 months before they got married, and are still so in love. And that is kind of the childhood that I came out of. I don't want to say that we were deeply impoverished, but we definitely, I never grew up with a ton of wealth, and have lived in some crazy, not scary places in the city, although I grew up in North Las Vegas, and my mom has an obsession with moving around the city, so I think I grew up in 16 different houses. Like every year it was just like, we're moving somewhere else. Which is funny, because now that I'm into astrology and I've looked at her birth chart says exactly that. It says, I forget the aspect that it pertains to, but basically it said, loves to move from house to house. However, if you find yourself moving frequently, know that The reasoning that you're moving is because you want to create a certain type of feel or a certain type of environment in your house, and you don't get that, so you want to move to another house to try there because it didn't happen here, so you want to keep trying. And instead of moving from house to house to house, you should maybe turn inward and figure out what it is inside of you that's going to give you that big fulfilled feeling. And whenever I read that in her birth chart, I was just like, oh gosh, so cool. So cool how this super ancient science integrates so nicely. I do believe that by looking into things like astrology, we're able to look at our energetic DNA, like the exact moment that we were brought into this world, the first time we inhaled our first breath, and the planets had a gravitational pull on us. Doesn't it make sense? And this is where I would lose a lot of people, but doesn't it make sense if you are a skeptic of astrology? Whenever our oceans and our tides are affected by gravitational pulls all the time, how is it that our bodies are made up of, what is it, like 97% water or 60% water? Either way, it's a lot of water. And how is it that we would not have energetic pulls from things like the gravitational pulls from other planets? So there are a lot of other things that definitely have me as a believer in astrology, but for me, looking at my personal birth chart and how much it resonates with who I am as a person, it's so nice being able to look at these aspects of myself and be like, oh cool, that's just kind of who I'm born as. And then I can look at this and be like, okay, cool, so how do I become my happiest self? Born with this, and then you also have your situational circumstances, like everything else that you've experienced in your life. So you're half this and half this. And then these two things can work together toward finding balance and becoming your happiest self. Does that make sense? I think that perspective is one of the most important things that we can try to search into, delve into, and find out more about if we are trying to create positive and lasting, healthy change for the future. Because it's so nice that we're seeing more and more people getting so passionate about these things, even people with opposing views than mine, people that are doing things and making action and have perspectives that I don't care for and that don't resonate with me, but that's okay. That's their thing, and they're waking up and they're sharing their story. And we're having so many people become super passionate about what it is that's going on. And a lot of the ways that we're able to voice these passions of ours, these perspectives and opinions of ours, is kind of being done in a pretty destructive way, don't you think? I don't know if it's just my news feed on things like Facebook, or that I've had since 2005 or so. It's a lot of people that I grew up with, a lot of family, a lot of people that have very, very different opinions. So now my Facebook feed is just filled with like political articles and videos and interviews and all kinds of things. And I'll go into the comment threads and read, and I'm just like, all this arguing is never gonna get us anywhere. And that is something that is probably one of the biggest factors on why I want to create this YouTube channel and just offer perspective and open up this platform where we can talk about becoming your happiest self and what it looks like to live in abundance, and what it looks like to express yourself freely and live an authentic life, and what it looks like to personally develop and grow. The internet, I feel like, is something that we were so fascinated with in the first few decades that it came out. We were like, oh my gosh, what's this? Like all these things, all these capabilities, all these new, shiny, fun things. And, you know, it definitely was a boom with the consumer market, Amazon, and ordering things online and making it so easily and more instantly gratifying to have what we want in our hands, like ASAP. And I feel like now we are becoming more aware of the powers that the internet has and the connections that are capable to be made, and not so much focusing on what we can buy and looking for these external things to make us happy, but we're discovering that through connection and through meaningful conversation and connecting with like-minded people, and also connecting with not like-minded people. That's who I'm most interested in talking to. But people that can come together respectfully and be tolerant and open to other people's perspectives, because it's really, really easy to stand in your own little bubble and be like, this is my safe zone, these are my belief systems, this is my perspective, and everyone else outside of it is danger and I won't have it. And that's just like not conducive to growth. It's just so great to talk about things. That's what we're here for, is for connection. There's like no denying it. And the way that I'm able to get growth and satisfaction and be personally liberated in my own life is the story that I came from, the past that I've come from, and just seeing how my life has so radically transformed through the practice of yoga. I guess I'll share a little bit of this. So I only started doing yoga. So that's a really, really good example of synchronicity right there. I am someone who loves to search for meaning in pretty much everything. And just there, I was about to start telling you a story, and my video just randomly stopped recording, so I'm not going to share that story just yet. Synchronicities are something else that I really, really love exploring, looking into, and like I said, finding meaning for. So I guess that's my introduction. This is going to be my first video that I build my page upon, and I hope that we can explore perspective, and that any piece of my development or growth or ongoing search to unearth and discover myself. See, here's another thing about me. I love being vulnerable. Vulnerability is something that a lot of people think of as weakness, because what we're doing is opening up and baring our souls to be judged and to be seen. And what we know is that we are here for connection, and the only way that we can open ourselves and really, really be here to receive connection from others is by being vulnerable and allowing those walls of security to come down so that we can see each other. And when I started discovering that only about 18 months ago, and really digging myself out of an identity crisis that I had been stuck in for over a decade, things really started to change in my life. And along the way, in the last 18 months, I've developed certain practices that have helped me come out of that identity crisis shell that I just wanted to please everyone. I was a perfectionist. I had really, really severe anxiety that I was seeing a therapist for. All of my relationships around me were crumbling. I was filled with judgment and intolerance for a lot of people, and a lot of decisions that other people were making. And only in these past 18 months have I been able to figure out what works for me, and if I can offer a lot of different spiritual practices that have helped me along the way in unearthing, my nasty habits and bad behaviors, and inability to be myself, inability to see and love myself, inability to respect myself. If I can show you what has helped me come out of that place, and it serves any single person, then this is all worth it for me. And something that I also want to share is that for the past year or so, I've been microblogging my soul on Instagram, and have just been picking up so much traction recently, and I just feel like it's time. I feel like it's totally time for me to open up a different platform where I can connect to those people more, and we can just dive into these different areas that all of us have in our lives, and start to open them up and look at them, and take what doesn't serve us and what we don't like and what we want to see leave, take it out and let it go and learn. And then everything else that's beautiful within us, our gifts, honing those and nurturing those. And yeah, I guess that's it. That's my welcome video. Bam! Packs a punch. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to see who it is that I'm able to connect with, and I'm just really flippin' excited.